Hello everyone, my name is Holden Hardman. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. I wanted to talk today about Hiei's video about me meeting Sean Schemmel and my most recent video of talking to Sean Schemmel on the phone. And let me start off by saying, wow, I've made it. I've never had another YouTuber talk about one of my videos before, at least not to my knowledge. So it's like really weird being like, oh my gosh, he's using clips of my videos. He's using my tweets. It's really weird, man. It's very strange. I've already watched Hiei's video, and there were a lot of points that he made that I agree with, and some things that I'm like, I don't know if that's entirely fair or not. I don't know Hei. I don't watch a lot of his content. It's not personal or anything. This is one of those things. I know that when the Vic Mignogna stuff was like in the heat of it, he was making content about that, and he's actively like pumping out content, and that's awesome. His question to the audience is Sean being sincere when he apologized to me? Is it being genuine, or is it a ploy to make himself look better? And these are valid questions, so I definitely want to talk about it. You think like I didn't think about this myself when we first started talking? Of course I did, but let's go into it and we'll go from there.
Sean Schemmel trying to reform himself for his past ways. Let's take a look. Hei responds and says, meanwhile, you have lifelong fans who got to meet him. Ask him to sign stuff, and this is what he does. Timestamped for the specific example. However, I highly recommend you start from the beginning and listen to the whole story, and it links to this video from this YouTube channel. Now, this particular video I'm actually familiar with. Someone sent it to me many months ago, and I watched the full thing, the full 6 minutes, 35 seconds, and it honestly didn't seem like that big of a deal. If anything, I am actually a little bit more on Sean Schemmel's side in this situation. Let me explain.
I was really surprised when he said that he was more on Sean's side than my side, and in a good way. The fact that he was able to at least put aside the bias and look at that situation objectively and be like, that was kind of a weird request from you, Holden. So points there. I appreciate you being able to do that, even though you didn't agree with my side.
So this YouTuber basically retells a story of when he met Sean Schemmel at a convention, and then he went and bought a poster and decided to go meet Sean a second time the next day for a follow-up signature, more or less.
It's not exactly a poster. It was just like an 8x10 picture. You know, you go to like a Walgreens and you plug your phone in and you can like select from your gallery and you just print it out. It's not very expensive at all, you know, so like I didn't go to like Costco and get it like personally made, like rolled or anything. But I think it is kind of like a weird thing. I've explained in both of those videos, like it's just really, really personal for me to have the picture of us together signed. So that's why I did that.
Is this made out to you or just signed?
Yeah, to my friend Holden.
He kind of looks over at me like, what? And then he signs it to my friend, in quotes, Holden, just to clarify that we are not actually friends.
Like I said, I can't really fault Schemmel for that. I don't really blame him. It is kind of a strange request, especially over the last year. I've learned that there is a lot of very strange people on the internet, and they will try to take advantage of you if they can. And for all Schemmel knows, that's what this person's doing. They're having him sign something and want him to call the person asking for a signature a friend when apparently they weren't friends and didn't even really know each other at all.
That whole situation with the to my friend Holden thing has kind of divided up a lot of the people that I've seen. Like I see some people that are like, obviously it's not personal. I know that we're not friends. Why didn't he just sign it? It just seems kind of weird that he would take it so literally. And then other people like Sean, like Hei apparently, who are like, I don't know you. I don't know why you're asking me to sign something so personal to you. Maybe wondering if I have other kind of ideas in my head what to use with that. You know, I could sign it to my friend Holden and then I go and I hurt somebody. And then somebody's like, oh, so you're friends with this guy. You're associated with this dude that hurts people. But I did say in the follow-up video that I was probably a little too sensitive about that. And to be fair, I think that I was probably too sensitive about that. It's not that big a deal. And I don't want to get hung up on that a lot.
Well, Sean Schemmel actually asks if there's any way to get in touch with that YouTuber. He says he feels bad that he had a bad experience with him and he'd like to make it right. Any info, DM me, please. And they seemed to actually get in touch.
Hey.
That YouTuber Holden says, just got off the phone with
YouTuber Holden.
Schemmel,
Get used to
Goku.
that.
We talked for over an hour about life, Dragon Ball Z, YouTube. It was such a surreal and great conversation. Looking forward to sharing some of the experience with you guys in the near future. And Schemmel responds to that tweet and says, great chat. Really great getting to know you, sir.
I just want to say for context, I'm trying to keep it mostly about the stuff that involves me. He talks a little bit about Vic, and we might get into some of that a little bit later, and some of the stuff with Monica Rial.
Is Sean genuinely trying to make amends and just move forward as a VA, staying away from drama, and just interacting with the community and trying to just focus on the content? Is this authentic? Or is he simply trying to salvage his reputation?
There's already going to be a bias of people who are, when they hear the question, is it authentic or not, are going to go, obviously it's not. I will address why I think it is authentic. a little bit later.
The other question is, why would Sean Schemmel pick this random YouTube person to go and talk to him on the phone for an hour or whatever? Is it really just because he made a video about his experience and he didn't like his experience that much? Is that genuinely why?
I talked about this in the follow-up video with Sean, but when I made that video of my experience meeting him, I wasn't even monetized. I had under 1,000 subscribers, nobody. Fast forward to now, I think I have just crossed 47,000 subscribers. Like, I'm doing like okay. I'm not a big YouTuber. I'm not making millions of dollars. I'm just a dude. Most of my videos aren't even about Dragon Ball Z or anime or anything. They're like watching movies with my friend. So it's not like I have this strong foothold in the anime or Dragon Ball Z community, because I don't. For all of the Vic Mignogna, and then the Vic Mignogna stuff happens. And boom, the floodgates open up and all these toxic fans just start pouring into my video with all the kick Vic, stand with Vic stuff that I have no desire to be a part of.
I don't know if he was joking around about the name the first time or if he genuinely knew how to say it. At least he got it right the second time, though. I'll be the first one to admit these are from two different videos.
Yeah, so the first time when I said Mignogna, that was legitimate. I had no idea who Vic was when all that stuff started happening. And then the second time, you know, I know how to say his name now.
The point is, I'm going to just assume that Holden is not lying here.
Thank you.
And that he genuinely is neutral, doesn't seem to really like either side of the situation.
And I really appreciate that too, because I really have tried to stay as neutral as possible. I said in the follow-up video that I definitely have my opinion on certain aspects of it, but I'm not like every time a new like piece of information comes out, I'm like on it. I have a broad view of information, and I know that there's some ignorance on my part about like specific details. And a part of it is like, again, I don't really want to be a part of it. It's not any of my business. It's their stuff.
Thing is, this guy has also interviewed a number of VAs before, and apparently has also been to Pensacon before, has some ties with them. Now, I'm not saying he's friends with Pensacon. I really don't know. I'm just looking at what's out there.
Interviewing voice actors might be a little bit of a stretch. Mostly it's me going up to them being like, "Hi, can you sign this? Great meeting you." They're not interviews, it's just my experience meeting them. And sometimes I'll have a little bit of footage of it, but that's about it. As far as my Pensacon stuff, I live in Pensacola, Florida, so I've gone to Pensacon every single year that they've had it. Back when I was first starting my channel, I did a lot of like local based videos. I did stuff like about the best restaurants in town. I did some stuff about like my local history and stuff. And Pensacon was one of those things that kind of merged all the worlds for me at the time. It's like this nerdy culture and it's local. But I don't know the people that are like pulling the strings and anything like that. Like I didn't get together with Pensacon, was like, all right, guys, we need to get Sean to call us and we need to get something out of this. It wasn't like that. It's very much, this is just my local convention and I'm involved with it in that context.
As I said, I'm giving my good faith to Holden. I'm going to assume he's not lying and that he genuinely doesn't like either side of the whole Vic situation.
I really don't, and I don't think it's wrong for me to be like, I don't like the idea of splitting fandoms in two, and we always like, it just sort of seems to be this inevitable thing that happens. Dragon Ball Z used to be like one community where you'd have people that maybe didn't like the Boo saga or didn't like the Cell saga or whatever, but we were all fans and that was just accepted. Now it's like, are you kick Vic or stand with Vic? Which side are you on? And I just hate it. It's just like all of life is like that. And like fandom is supposed to be that one thing where it doesn't matter your religion or your race or whatever, we all love whatever the fandom is. I love the actual content itself. That's why I don't get too, at least I try not to get too swept up in it.
Looking at the facts at hand, he absolutely does have a business benefit by staying on the good side of the Funimation VAs and co. Now, obviously, I would never tell you. He absolutely does have a business benefit by staying on the good side of the Funimation VAs and co.
I mean, maybe. Here's a little secret about me that my friend Matt will attest to. I'm not a good businessman. I just make what I want when I want to make it. The other videos, I guess, that he might be referring to where I talked to Chris Sabat and I talked to Peter Kalemis, I guess in that sense, that would be useful, but even Peter Kalemis isn't with Funimation anymore. I don't even know. And then a part of that little series was meeting Sam Raimi, who's a film director. If there is a business opportunity with staying on their good side, I don't know it.
In my opinion, with what I've seen so far, just looking at the evidence that's out there, I don't feel like Sean's reform arc, so to speak, is that genuine.
But anyway, I want to address the actual thesis of whether or not Sean's apology was sincere or not. Was it genuine or not? The first thing that he mentioned was, why would Sean reach out to me? Because I'm not a big YouTuber that could like sway the course of people's perception. The last Dragon Ball Z video I did prior to Sean's phone call with me was like 2 or 3 months ago. So even my channel content is not even focused around Dragon Ball Z or anime. The second thing, and I think I touched on this a little bit in the follow-up video, was that the Vic Mignogna drama had peaked and has come down now. So I feel like if Sean was actively like on this campaign to try and fix his reputation with people, that would have been the perfect time for Sean to reach out to me to try and make things right. And the third thing was my experience, my conversation with him itself. I mentioned in that video that we had talked about a lot of stuff, and we did. And we have talked since then over the phone and through texting. So for what it's worth, and it may be worthless to you, from my conversation with him, it felt very genuine. There were also no guarantees I was going to make a video about it. Sean wasn't like, Holden, hey, if I call you, will you do a video? Nothing like that. And also, like, on social media and his Twitter has not like shared that video and been like, see guys, I told you, I fixed it. So I feel like if he was trying to benefit from it outside of what the YouTube algorithm randomly pushes to people, it would be in his best interest to find a YouTuber that has a bigger influence than me and to share it himself around on Twitter or Instagram or wherever. And I figure a lot of Hiro Hie's audience will come to watch this reaction video that already have opinions and minds made up about Sean and are convinced already that it's not genuine. And that's fair enough. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion. I'm just telling you why I feel like it was. It's weird being on this side, man. I've never had somebody make a video about one of my videos before, and I probably won't get into like this like never-ending back and forth. I really respected a lot of what Hiro Hie had to say. I was appreciative that he was able to put aside some bias about it and look objectively at what I was saying and doing and being very clear about my certain videos being out of context and then providing context for them. So I really appreciated that a lot. That's it. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Try to keep it civil. I'm not a drama channel, okay? I'm not Drama Alert. I just have fun watching movies with my friends. So keep that in mind, okay? If you enjoyed this video, leave me a like. It helps my channel out a lot. And consider subscribing as well if you want to see other stuff. Well, maybe not like this, but other stuff. That's it, everyone. I appreciate you watching. Take care.